Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I couldn't believe this. It came across my feed. I've got an update on the Wizinator. And what else do I have? We've got Judge Simpson losing his mind for good reason. Always a good time. We might even have a little Darrell Brooks update. Let's get this party started. Oh yeah, to bring us in, I take a little clip. The Wizinator was from a video I did yesterday, and for those of you who haven't seen it, I give you the relevant 30 seconds you need right here. Let's go.
Condition 14, comply with the requirements of drug testing directed by the field agent. And then it's alleged that on or about 12/14/2022, you attempted to submit a fraudulent urine sample using a prosthetic penis / Wizinator. Contrary to condition 34.
Supplemental number 4, People versus Abraham DeCasa, 21234 FH.
So there he is, top right. He had a date with another judge the next day, which is today. So it's not very exciting, but here's what happens.
Michael Dobie for the People.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. DeCasa.
I don't know that we heard it. So we heard the last time.
Okay, so we didn't catch the appearances, so would you repeat those?
Michael Dobie for the People.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. DeCasa.
Thank you. Mr. DeCasa, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today is the date set for the probation violation hearing. How are we proceeding, Mr. Overwater?
Your Honor, we are tracking a new offense, and I believe that has a probable cause conference date for today. Mr. DeCasa, what happened with your court case today?
I got re-adjourned.
To what day?
23rd or the 24th. I'm sorry, I can't recall.
So I didn't know about this. Apparently he picked up another charge.
And are you posting bond on that case?
No, sir.
Then, Judge, I'd ask to adjourn the probation violation to February 23rd.
No objection.
Okay, I will set the hearing over to February 23rd at 2:30. So we'll see you back here then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, this is Ali with the...
Well, like I said, it wasn't very exciting, but people love updates. And if you're following the gripping saga of Mr. Wizinator, there you have it.
Sovereign Citizen Patrol, and thanks to all your generous support, I'm getting belly scratches. So please remember to hit like and subscribe so I get some more.
Are you ready?
Okay,
More confidence in that. Court does call the case. People versus Justin Phillips.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the People.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stuart Collis on behalf of Mr. Phillips.
Hello.
You can see here. Wait, you can see Judge knows what he's walking into here. When he's already got his head in his hand before it starts, he knows what's coming.
Justin Phillips.
Okay, what are we doing on this? Let me just say that, Mr. Phillips, I told you at the last hearing to not email my chambers directly with these documents that you are doing. You remember me telling you that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Then why'd you do it?
Your Honor, I thought today was a court hearing for 3 p.m. until I checked and it was for 9 and then couldn't log in. So
why did you email? I'm not talking about the time that you're here.
Oh, I sent a motion in. And the other one was a brief in support
I
of-
told you before not to email my chambers direct. You sent one at 2 a.m. and then you sent another one at 8:30. Didn't I make it clear the last time that wasn't to happen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then why'd you do it?
I thought this is how you file the motions with the court.
No, you were explained how to file a motion with the court because goodness knows we have repetitive motions before. And I told you not to send them directly to my chambers.
I don't know if this guy is just clueless or if he's gone soft citizen because we never get to see the things, but it's totally appropriate. The judge just doesn't want this. He's getting hit with crazy motions at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's not happy about it.
And quite frankly, I look at it, I mean, there's a couple of problems with them. One, the one that I was reading this morning that came in at 2 a.m. That I was reading is repetitive of the previous motion. And quite frankly, in a lot of respects, it's just plain nonsensical. It's
batshit crazy. Judge can't say it from the bench, but that's as close as he can describe the concept.
To what's going on. The one that then follows up at 8:30, although I haven't had a chance to review it in detail because I've been a little bit busy since then, is the same thing. I don't even know why these things are even attached to it. I am very concerned about your inability to follow the court's direction. I'm more concerned in terms of the posture and the way these cases are proceeding. Your inability, it seems to me, and I'm not placing fault on either side, but to be able to talk with your attorneys, because now I'm on
I'm placing fault. It's that guy's fault. The attorney is perfectly reasonable.
attorney 3. And to be able to move this case along. And either one or two things in my mind is happening. But when either there is some type of, and again, I'm not making the accusation, I'm just saying it's difficult for me not to come to the conclusion that there's some deliberate obstruction in terms of the process.
Seriously.
Where you refuse to follow it. Or there is a circumstance when I look through these motions and the things that are being said by you in these emails that I can understand your attorney's difficulties in terms of dealing with this case. And I have some very serious concerns from a judicial perspective as to whether or not you can rationally assist in your defense, regardless of who the attorney is. So for those reasons, for particularly that reason, so that when this case decides to move on, the court on its own motion.
You are awarded no points. May God have mercy on your soul.
And counsel, I'll let you speak to it when you want to. I'm going to refer to the defendant for competency, and I'm going to set a competency hearing on this defendant. I am just very perplexed by what is contained in these motions. And as I've said, they're illogical. And I think that they're not only just illogical, there are numerous points that they just don't make sense. And not from a legal standpoint, but just in terms of what's being said. Ms. Kirby, any response to the court's referring to defendant for competency? I'm not requiring a response. I don't think I need one, but I will give counsel an opportunity to address the court.
No response, Your Honor.
Ms. Kirby wisely dodges this. Judge is rightfully on a rant here. She's not getting in the way of that. She was even born yesterday.
Mr. Collis.
Although she looks like it.
Your Honor, I have reason to believe that Mr. Phillips is competent. That being said, I understand the court's concerns. I've had very similar experiences with Mr. Phillips and now received a grievance. I would ask, and I've tried to reach out to Mr. Phillips to bridge whatever gaps he perceived. That isn't happening. He continues to be, as you said, trying to, in my perception, trying to do things that just simply can't be done procedurally and ask me to do things that can't be done procedurally. And for those reasons.
And not just to you, but when I look at these motions, or these, I'll call them motions, he's asking for things to be done that factually can't be done. But go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay, Your Honor. And quite frankly, I believe that there is something at work with regard to Mr. Phillips, but I think with regard to competency, unfortunately, I believe he is competent. And I would just ask the court to relieve me of my duties at this point.
I can't, I understand, Mr. Collins. I'm going to at this point, and I understand the position that you're in.
He stopped from saying I can't because he absolutely can allow the attorney to withdraw. So he said, all right, maybe I should say this more succinctly. I'm not going to let you withdraw. Although I understand your plight, I'm not going to, because then I'm dealing with this guy without you. No, thank you.
I'm going to at this time. I'm not saying that I won't. At this time, I'm not going to do so.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not going to do that. And it is with great reluctance that I'm saying that to you, but I'm not going to do that at this juncture. The court, then I will set having heard the argument on it, I'll set a competency hearing then for March 30th, 2023, 9 a.m. The court will be preparing the order, sending it out. Counsel will get a copy of the court's order. Mr. Collis, also, if you could make sure, because I don't communicate with defendants directly, that order is then sent over to Mr. Phillips. And Mr. Phillips, I'm just ordering that you'll see the order. You'll get an interview with a forensic psychologist. You are to comply with that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond.
I will.
Pardon?
Am I able to speak?
I don't know what you want to tell me.
Oh, I was going to say that I am competent. I already had a psychological evaluation where I walked in and had one. That was August 29th of last year.
You can explain that to the forensic psychologist.
Okay. And I'm not insane or crazy or anything like that. I'm not sure why the referral, but I understand if that's the court's wishes.
I stated on the record why the referral. You should maybe take some time and read the documents that you're sending to us.
Have you read the motions you sent me? That's subtle, but that was fantastic. It's fantastic.
In a manner that you shouldn't be sending to us. Thank you. Bond, continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm just fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay, this is Darrell Brooks. This came across my feed. If this is old, tell me and I'll stop it. But I saw these videos. They look like new. They're like new court appearances from like an hour ago. And I know people like updates. I don't have any grand insight on it, but here we are. These are, I guess, a couple other cases that he's there. He's still burning resources and oxygen.
How's everybody else? Yeah. Wish I could walk in. I understand.
Thank you, Gary.
Gotta take it how it comes, though. I hear you. Oh, you locked me up.
All right, tell me if you guys know, does he need a wheelchair or do they have that to restrain him? Is he just strapped in so he doesn't, do crazy stuff?
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. There are actually 2 appearances with 2 judges. Must have lined them both up once they took him out of his cell. I think one's a DV and one's a shooting incident. Ah. It's also interesting. Okay, so I assume that's an attorney. Guy's got a suit on. He looks like an attorney. It's interesting that he now seems to be cooperating with attorneys. I could say it, but it doesn't make it true.
We ready? All right.
All righty, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. This is State of Wisconsin versus Darrell Brooks, case 20 CF 2550. Appearances?
State appears by Jacob Core. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Attorney Robert Hampton appears with Attorney William Rakestraw with Mr. Brooks. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. We are on the calendar today for a status hearing. Mr. Brooks' case was last in court on November 17th for a pretrial hearing. At one point, we did have a December 12th trial date in the matter. That was postponed to give the parties, I think the state needed some additional time at that point. So we were set for status. I did have a conversation with the lawyers in chambers before we went on the record today. My understanding of the parties' positions is that at this point, there's not a resolution in this matter, but there's also not been a decision by either party that this can't be resolved, and that Mr. Core needed to conduct some additional follow-up and would then confirm an offer to Mr. Brooks and his counsel, and then Mr. Brooks could decide whether he wished to accept that. We also did discuss that at some point Mr. Brooks may be making a request to proceed pro se on this matter, but I think the discussion we had was that we would hold off on that and set a scheduling status date to see if the parties can reach a resolution, and then if they can't, the court would need to address that issue as to representation. Does that accurately capture what we talked about, Mr. Core?
Yes.
Mr. Hampton?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that acceptable to Mr. Brooks today?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my thought would be we'll go out about 30
restrained.
days, and at that point, if the parties are able to reach a resolution, great. If not, we'll put this back on the trial calendar, and then we'll have a discussion as to representation.
It doesn't. That's why That's why I'm not understanding why they're spending this much time on it. I might just dismiss the charges. He's never getting out. You could make the argument that he could win his appeal and then get out, and then these charges matter, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
Works for me. At 1:30?
Agreed.
Yes, it's 1:30.
One second.
That's fine for the state.
Hold on 1 second.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. March 23rd at 1:30. Yes, I'm already here. Oh, no, I'm here earlier, and later that day, but 1:30 is fine. Yeah.
The next hearing is scheduled for March 23rd at 1:30 for a status conference. That hearing will be held in person in room 113 of the safety building.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Corr. Anything else we need to address today?
Judge, thank you.
Mr. Hampton?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Brooks, I'll tell you what I tell everybody who leaves here. Stay safe and try and make good decisions.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you again. I gotta go to Hobbs and do the exact same thing. Okay, absolutely. See you a second over there. Okay.
All right. And Mr. Hampton, I think you have another one, right?
Is that me today? I'm gonna hold on a second. I was looking at my calendar to figure out which is which today.
I think you have Mr. Purtle.
Good.
And off the record, Mr. Rakestraw, are you going to...
Mr. Rakestraw, you don't wish to wait for Mr. Hampton?
No, we'll be okay. I
right.
spoke with Mr. Hampton. He's fine with me taking care of this.
Nice to see you, Jamie. Okay, we're in another court. I think these were both today.
Darrell Brooks, case number 21 CF 4596 and 21 CF 5020. Appearances, please.
Matthew Torbenson and Shelley Grosso appear for the state. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Darrell Brooks appears by Attorney William Rakestraw, who appears as co-counsel with Attorney Robert Hampton, who is not here at this time, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, Mr. Brooks.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, so we are here for a status. The last time the case was in court, it was handled by Judge Feist for us. We were in the middle of a trial, and there were some movement issues. So Judge Feist handled it for us. At that time, it was set for a final pretrial. He adjourned the jury trial that was scheduled for December 12th and set it at the request of the parties for a status on today's date. Mr. Rakestraw, what can you tell me about that status and where we stand today?
Yes, Your Honor. Having spoke with Mr. Brooks, we have reached out to Attorney Torbenson, asked for a separate offer on this matter. It's my understanding that Attorney Torbenson is going to get that to me forthwith. Your Honor, me and Mr. Brooks have also discussed the possibility that Mr. Brooks will possibly be asking to proceed pro se if this case goes to trial. But we can table that for the time being as we are still seeking a possible resolution. Your Honor, I would ask for one more. I would ask for another status date so that we can work forward, hopefully, and obtain a resolution on this matter.
Okay, State?
Attorney Rakestraw and I discussed the parameters of an amended offer out in the hallway. I've emailed him an amended offer that involves just the two cases before Your Honor. I agree with the record made by Attorney Rakestraw in terms of how we proceed on this matter.
All right. Just so we're clear, what I'm taking you to say is that you are looking for an offer that handles the two cases that are scheduled before me, separate from the case that is scheduled before Judge Feist, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
So not separate offers on everything?
No.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like the parties are still negotiating. Do you wish to do another status?
Yes, please.
All right. We did have an opportunity to speak before. Okay, this should be fine. We had an opportunity to speak before we called the case on the record when you first came over, Mr. Rakestraw, with Mr. Torbenson and Ms. Grosso, and you indicated that the case in Judge Feist was scheduled for a status on March 23rd.
That's correct.
It's my understanding that Mr. Brooks has requested to appear in person for each hearing, so you want him produced for that?
Yes, please.
All right, we can put it on for that same date. We have trials
He's requesting an in-person appearance, of course, to get out of jail. He doesn't have any other social obligation. I mean, it's just a way for him to get out. I can't say I blame him for that. And he's going to say, I need my rights. I need to be there in person. Of course, they're going to accommodate it.
Scheduled on March 22nd, but we'll figure it out to be able to make this happen.
Sure.
What time on the 23rd?
That was set for 1:30.
Do you want the same time or do you want 2 o'clock? Or
We should probably just do 2 o'clock, just make it easier, make it cleaner.
And as far as
Yeah, that's where if I'm the prosecutor, I might lean towards just dismissing the charge so he doesn't get another court date. Just like, yeah, stay there.
that issue, the request to proceed pro se, I think that probably it sounds as if you are negotiating actively on his behalf, and he's not requesting this at this point, but only if it goes to trial. So we will, I will withhold any argument or any further action on that decision at this time.
Understood, Your Honor.
the next court date is March 23rd at 2 o'clock for status.
Thank you.
I think that's the plan. What else does he have? I hate to say it, but if I was in his shoes, I would do the same thing. I would cling to that opportunity to get out all I could.
Take care.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. I found that late, and I just felt obligated to do it since I spent, I don't know. John was with me most of the time. We spent so much time slogging through that awful trial. It was fun in its way, but it was sad and depressing. Seeing him again just makes me crazy. But there he is. He had dates up in front of 2 different judges today. I don't know if they can put it on hold. They could just dismiss it. They have discretion. They could just dismiss it, and they'd all have all the justification in the world. Said, look, the guy's in jail for life. I don't care about pursuing these charges. That's probably the decision I would make if I was the prosecutor. Although I see one of the reasons they won't is that people think, oh, it's being easy. I'm still not being easy, and you're really just depriving him of another chance to go pro se and make a spectacle of himself, which is what he's looking for. That's probably the biggest thing he has left in his life right now. So I would, it's easy for me to say from here, but my gut instinct looking at the situation would be to just, we say Nellie Prost, just dismiss it, Judge. Motion state dismiss. We want out. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Then it's over. Then he doesn't have a court date. He doesn't have to represent himself, and it's that. But they may have good reasons not to. I'm not looking at it closely. I'm saying that's a route that's available to the state here that they might want to consider. But there you have it. We have that. It wasn't too exciting with the Wizinator. I guess I should have known because when I was doing it yesterday, we were talking about they were in front of that judge. I didn't even know. I wasn't familiar with this judge's call, but that one's YouTube's fault. It just came up on my feed, and I'm like, "Oh, good Lord!" And he was on there. I'm like, "I have to see what the Wizinator does." Apparently, picked up another charge, so they just set it over for another day. I wanted them to get into substance. I was really hoping Judge O'Brien, I think that's her name. I was hoping to get a Wizinator out of her too, but no such luck. And then the other guy, I don't know, but looks like you guys in the chat are familiar with the defendant in the other case. But he got on Judge Simpson's bad side. I don't blame him. He got on Judge Simpson's bad side, just emailing him crazy stuff at 2:00 in the morning. Oh, that's too fun because at this point I feel like I know Judge Simpson, which of course I don't. I've never met him in real life, but from doing videos, and it makes me laugh all the more. Knowing his personality, it's good times. All right, that's what we have today. Thank y'all for coming out. I think Biggin's got one going on, so you guys might want to jump over there. I'll see y'all soon.